Hello humans, welcome to my world of stuff. It's Saturday evening and it's time for another episode on my channel of what I like to refer to as my pickups. This is my media pickups, my Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks, plus any other things, books, comics, graphic novels, anything which I think might be of interest to people who watch this channel. Speaking of people who watch this channel, hey, come here. You know what you need to do? Click that button, which is over there somewhere. Click that button, that subscribey button. Click the like and subscribe if you're interested in this sort of stuff, if you're interested in physical media, if you're interested in creative films, television, books, geeky stuff if you like. This is the place to be because I do lots of reviews and unboxings and cinema visits and news and bits and pieces. All of this sort of stuff that you see behind me. So go on, like and subscribe and leave a comment too. That would be so cool. That would be just fantastic. Okay, so it's a media update. This is something I do every week to 10 days, depending on when I pick things up. Now, there's a lot of people who do their media hauls and their unboxings and things because they do buy a lot of stuff, and I buy quite a bit of stuff, but I can't guarantee that I buy things every week. It depends what it's about, and it depends what I can find in the sales. Like a lot of people, as much as I support physical media, I like a bargain. And I've picked up a few nice bargains the last week or so. So I've got a nice pile of discs and physical media type things here. So this, although this is sort of the last week, it's really the last 10 days to 2 weeks of pickups really. I didn't have many physical media items the week before last, but I had a few booky type things, so I'll show you those at the end of the video. But I'll start off with the physical media, the discs and things that I've bought. So, I still buy DVDs if the price is right and I'm interested. Obviously buy Blu-rays and 4Ks. My first purchases then are two films which I picked up in Asda last weekend, I think it was, or last Monday. These are titles that you would have seen on the shelves since they came out about 2 months ago, originally about £7, and they're things that, yeah, this looks interesting, might be worth a look, but I ain't paying £7 for it. And then they come down to £5, and then they come down to £3, and that's when I think, yeah, maybe I'll take a punt at £3. Sometimes you hit on a winner or something that's reasonably enjoyable. Sometimes, however, you pick up a stinker like this. This is called The Ninth Passenger. Now, I saw this one a couple of months ago. In fact, I think I might even have pointed it out on a previous one of my shopping videos. Not that I do many of those, but I did one video where I went to Asda and I think I pointed this out. This looks interesting, and it does. It looks interesting, but be warned, if you see this in your supermarket, it's reduced. This never happens in this film. So I was drawn to this cover image of a cruiser or a yacht being dragged underwater by some tentacle kraken type monster. Once again, kids, this never happens in this film. We're used to this sort of thing in these low budget sort of asylum type films where you get a cover image which is impossibly spectacular and impossibly elaborate, and you know this is a film made on a shoestring that's not going to have that sort of visual on it. But I thought, well, it can't be that difficult to animate even badly a tentacle creature dragging a ship underwater, but this never happens in this film. It's actually not entirely terrible, to be fair, but it's not worth £3. I wouldn't advise you to pick it up. Basically, the story is a group of students who hire a luxury yacht for an end-of-term party. They're looking forward to a night of drink and debauchery, as it says on the back cover. However, there's an additional passenger on board. Dun dun dun! A mutated creature is determined to pick them off one by one. However, it's not this creature, because this never happens in this film. It's a bit ropey. I mean, it has a sort of charm to it, I suppose. The performances are quite earnest. The script isn't too bad. But you don't get this. What you get is some sort of giant mushroom creature which shuffles around in the darkness. It's a very badly made costume. You see that there's only one or two scenes where you see it clearly, and it looks well ropey. A bit like this film, really. It is quite ropey. I can't recommend it, so if you see it in your local supermarket for £3, don't bother, because this never happens in this film, and nothing much of interest does, really. So it's not awful. I've seen much worse films, but this isn't one that's going to stay in my collection. This is going in sin bin. Yeah, don't bother. Ninth Passenger. This is one I haven't watched yet. Now I'm hopeful this is going to be okay, because it had quite good reviews online and in the genre media. Shortcut. It's a British film a blurb on the back describes it as the Breakfast Club reimagined as a creature feature. It's a British film. I mean, it's the same old story. A group of 5 British teenagers taking their usual school bus home, and an unexpected detour turns their night into a nightmare. But this isn't your average night. A rare lunar eclipse is on the cards, as Nolan and his classmates Bess, Carl, Queenie and Reggie, all played by people you've never heard of, soon discover something nasty and quite hot. I can never get where my finger's supposed to be on these things. Yeah, there we are. Something nasty is stalking them in the woods. It looks okay. This looks quite reasonable, and it did have quite, fairly decent reviews. So I'm expecting this one to be okay. And again, this was £3 on Asda, so I thought, yeah, worth a punt. Why not? So might look at that one later tonight. Actually, it's a fairly short film. It's 77 minutes, fairly standard for these sorts of things. I've got a longer film I'm going to watch tonight, which I'll talk about shortly. But I might give this one a look later on as a sort of a nightcap, as it were. Right. My attention was drawn earlier in the week to a sale on HMV. And if you buy stuff online like I do, you'll often be scouring Zavvi and HMV and Zoom and Amazon for bargains, because if you're a collector, you like a bargain. You don't mind paying full price for a favourite film, but to bulk up the collection with some old classics, it's always nice to get them at a bargain price. And at the moment, I think it's still on, as far as I know. I haven't actually checked it in the last day or so. HMV are doing a 2 for $15 on their premium collection. Now, I'm not one of those collectors who buys the Arrow sets or the Criterions or premiums. I tend to buy things because I like the films, and I know a lot of collectors will buy everything under a certain boutique label, whether they have heard of the film or like it or not. I much prefer to buy things that I actually like. So I suppose I'm not a huge risk taker in that sense, but I've seen a lot of films, so I know what I like. So anyway, I tracked down, going through the selection. There's about 15 pages of choices. There were some good titles there. Could have picked up a few more, and in fact I might have a little look later on to see if there's anything else I want to pick up. I picked up first of all, one of the classics, isn't it? That was the original 1933 version of King Kong, with the classic special effects from Willis O'Brien. This is going to be on Blu-ray, so I don't know how the transfer has scrubbed up, because I'm used to seeing King Kong in the slightly grainy copies that we've seen on DVD in the past and shown on TV, and I imagine this has been remastered and tidied up. Hopefully not too much, because it's one of the classics, and you want it to look like one of the classics, not like something that was made as a sort of a spoof in the last few years. But this is a nice edition. It's got a nice cover, one of the classic sort of images of Kong with the premium collection logo at the top, and these all, if you are a collector of the premium discs, that you will appreciate the sort of the uniformity of the covers. It is a Blu-ray and DVD. Oh, quaint DVDs, very quaint. But don't just get the disc, of course. If you look actually on the back, there's a commentary, the exploits of Marion C. Cooper, RKO production, the making of Kong, creation test footage, the Lost Spider Pit sequence, and theatrical trailer. If it's a Lost Spider Pit sequence, how can it be on? Never mind. I don't know. I've had this before on DVD, and it's somewhere around here in this madness, so I don't know if any of these features are new or just ported over from previous editions. I suspect that's the case. But you open it up and take it out of the very nice stiff slipcase cover, and inside you have, in fact, the 2 discs. You have your Blu-ray, your standard blue Blu-ray, and you have your black the DVD. That's the Blu-ray, your standard Blu-ray, and then your DVD. You also get, however, which is rather nice, you get a nice booklet about the history and the making of Kong. Some nice pictures and some detail and stuff, so that should be quite nice reading. So yeah, so it's a nice little edition, and inside the disc you have, I'm going to take the DVD out to show you properly, you get sort of the classic image of Kong atop the Empire State Building being attacked by the biplanes. Yeah, it's one of the great films, and very nice to have that on Blu-ray, and I say at a bargain price at the moment, so pretty irresistible. The next one's also a classic. Yeah, in fact I'll do the next 2 because they're sort of connected. It's another classic. It's Jason and the Argonauts. I'm a huge fan of Ray Harryhausen's stop motion animation classic films from the 50s and 60s, those great creature features that he did. This is directed by Don Chaffee, and it's the story of Jason and the Golden Fleece, in his search for the Golden Fleece, the classic sort of mythological story, with of course the legendary sequence of Jason and his Argonauts facing Talos on the island, and of course the incredible skeleton fight at the end of the film, which is still one of the great action sequences of fantasy films. Again, it comes in a nice stiff slipcover. Again, it's got a commentary, a couple of commentaries actually, original skeleton fight storyboards, Harryhausen legacy featurette. Harryhausen, who of course is no longer with us, interviewed by John Landis, and the documentary narrated by Leonard Nimoy, the Harryhausen Chronicles. So I suspect that's all archive material, but again, nice to have it all in one place. Again, you've got your Blu-ray and your DVD, and this one comes not with a booklet but with a very nice set of art cards, which I thought I'd opened, but obviously haven't. I'll just take them out of the sleeves, you can have a look at them. Sort of the original poster and the poster of the disc. And you've got another classic image, I think that was on a previous DVD cover. Then the gods looking down on us all, as they do. And another image from the film. So that's a nice little set. And again, you've got the Blu-ray and DVD. And underneath, probably easier just to take it out, you've got this nice image, or collection of images from the film on the back of the sleeve. So again, it's a lovely little set, and it is another classic movie, which is nice to have at a bargain price in the old collection. So yeah, pleased to get that one up. I'll put that back together again later. Okay, it's got this lovely stiff artboard cover as well, which is really nice. Speaking of Ray Harryhausen, this is another classic, one of his underrated films from 1967, I believe it was, Valley of Gwangi. This is the Cowboys versus Dinosaurs classic, which sort of came and went at the cinema, but it's got a sort of a cult reputation that's built up since it was released. It's, again, you see from the back, it's got this classic cowboy lassoing tyrannosaur sequence, which was sort of legendary. I remember seeing clips from this when I was a kid, and because it never had much of a theatrical release, never really got to see it until it sort of hit television back in the 70s. And sorry, I'm just putting this one back in place. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that again on Blu-ray. It's a film that's actually a bit slow to get started, because there's a lot of stuff about this rodeo that this lead character was played, if I recall correctly, by, I can't remember, I think it's James Franciscus. Anyway, he's goes to see his old girlfriend who's running this ailing rodeo, and they end up going to this strange valley where mysterious creatures live, and they've got to try to get out again. Yeah, it's a great film. But as I say, it is one of the underrated Harryhausen classics. And again, it's only one special feature. Return to the Valley recounts the making of the film with associate producer and creative special effects Ray Harryhausen. So again, it's an archive feature. Again, you've got your Blu-ray, your DVD, and in fact a digital download code this time for those who like such things. Again, you've got art cards, which I won't get out this time because I made a mess last time. And again, you've got your DVD and Blu-ray, and on the inside of the cover you will see again the image from the cover reproduced of the cowboy battling the dinosaurs. So it's one of the great sort of, I'm not going to describe it as cheesy because that does it a disservice, because it's a great film. But yes, that's a really nice little package on a great and underrated film, one of Harryhausen's sort of lost classics. But as I say, over the years it has attained a stronger reputation. I think people really appreciate stop motion. I mean, hey, what's not to love? The final one in my 4 pickups from the HMV Premium sale is, I think it's fair to call this one cheesy. This is the Satanic Rites of Dracula. This is one of my favourite of the later period Hammer horrors. The final one with Christopher Lee as Dracula, set in the modern day. It's the follow-up to Dracula AD 1972, where Dracula is still in the modern day, but he's hatching a fiendish plot to wipe out the human race with a deadly virus. As if that could ever happen. But this is a lot of fun. It's 1973, so it's obviously extremely dated in terms of fashion and attitudes and language and behaviour and so on. But it's good fun. There's some good action sequences in it. Christopher Lee actually gets quite a bit more to do in this. He actually has some dialogue. In the previous couple of films he hadn't had much dialogue, and I think it's a nice way for him to bow out of the role that he grew to sort of resent over the years. And of course, you've got Peter Cushing, which is always a winner. So he's got the fantastic sound where Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. He's told of a character called Alucard, and there's a point where he's sitting and studying Alucard, and he writes down the name Alucard on a piece of paper, holds it up to a mirror and sees, oh my god, it's Dracula. Oh, they really had to spell it out to people back then. Again, this is a premium collection, and again on this one you just get the Blu-ray, which is fine. And again though, you also get a selection of rather nice art cards, the sort of poster, image of the poster, Dracula attacking one of his victims, Dracula in trouble, Dracula attacking another one of his victims. And you also get, which is rather nice, a poster of the film. So that might well end up in a frame and in my currently in preparation new extended man cave area, which some of these videos might be filmed from in the next few weeks for better sound quality and no buzzing traffic. So that's the Satanic Rite of Dracula. I mean, if you take it for what it is, 1970s camp horror film with Christopher Lee, then you'll have a good time with it, but don't expect sort of classic gothic horror, I think, because Hammer have moved away from that. But then again, it comes in a nice sturdy cardboard sleeve. So that's the 4 from the premium collection on HMV. Check them out. I may well go back a bit later on to see if there's anything else I want to pick up. I also picked up from HMV in the same package, because I noticed it had been reduced rather. Only came out a couple of weeks ago. Already reduced to $14.99 on 4K. Speed. This is the classic 1990. I don't know, when did it come out? I don't know. The classic 1990 actioner with Keanu Reeves as LAPD SWAT team specialist sent to defuse a bomb that a revenge-driven extortionist played by Dennis Hopper has planted on a city bus, but he has to keep the bus over 40 miles an hour or it will blow up. We've all seen Speed. It is one of those great action films of the 1990s, and I can imagine it looks fantastic on 4K. And as I said, it was released only a month or so ago, and the price has slipped down a little bit already. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to get that one. Thank you. So there you go. It's a fairly standard, bog standard Blu-ray 4K case with the 4K disc, and then you get the Blu-ray. I don't think. This is interesting because I've got somewhere over there. I've got the big 2-disc DVD box set that came out a few years ago, and I don't think this has got all the features to them. I haven't checked yet, but this doesn't have much in the way of special features, so it may be that I'll need to keep the DVD for the special features, because it's nice to have the complete package of these things. But that's Speed on 4K, which I will be looking at soon because I haven't seen it for a while. 2 that came today. This one I got on a whim, on the computer anyway. I think this was in Zavi's sale. I think it was $10.99, and I know it's supposed to be a good film. I didn't see it at the time. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, don't know, because I'm not a manga person, and I do get a bit tired of relentless sort of CGI dystopian landscapes. But I hear this is very good. It's a Lita Battle Angel, directed by Robert Rodriguez. This came out 2019. A visual spectacle unlike anything ever before. In this epic adventure of hope and empowerment, a cyborg searches for clues from her past when she awakens in a future world she does not recognise. Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun, and it's had good reviews, and I mentioned a couple of people that bought it, and they gave it a thumbs up. So I'm probably going to be looking at this tonight. It's Saturday night when I'm recording this, so I'll probably be watching this one tonight, because I fancy something crazy and dystopian. I haven't actually opened this one yet, because it only came this morning. So I shall crack this open. I don't imagine there's any other delights in there, but we shall soon find out. So yes, like and subscribe, incidentally, just a reminder, and let me know if you've picked up anything in the last week or so. Blu-ray wise, I'm not interested in infections. If you pick up any physical media that you want to talk about, there we are. Yeah, the bog standard set that you would expect, the black lined plastic disc, or 3 discs actually. That's rather nice. So you've got the 4K disc, you've got the Blu-ray, and of course it's the 3D edition as well. I haven't got 3D TV, I have no interest in 3D TV, but who knows, one day maybe, you know. So that's Alita Battle Angel, which is tonight's viewing. And I've also got, I was very pleased to get this, although I paid a bit more than I might have wanted to, on eBay, although it's slightly less than it is online. Finally completing my Marvel 4K set is SpiderMan Far From Home, which is the most recent Marvel film actually. Came out end of the year before last. Of course we went all last year without any Marvel films. So I've got this one now. I love this. It's a great film. It's such good fun. And such a blast after Avengers Endgame to have a film as good as this. Picking up the slack was just fantastic. So yeah, I've got this one now. This actually completes my Marvel 4K sets. So I'm now done. I'm up to date with Marvel. You may remember that in the previous video when I went shopping, I accidentally bought Avengers Infinity War again instead of Endgame. I'm pleased to say that thanks to a friend of mine, Sean Alexander, and if you're watching, Sean, hello, sent me Endgame as a birthday present for last week. So I now have the complete set. So many thanks to Sean for that. Very kind of you, and I'm very proud that I've set him off on the same quest now to collect 4Ks, because I keep getting text messages from him. Just bought 3 more Marvel Blu-rays, just got 2 more. So I think you're about, 15 away from the complete set. Well done, you won't regret it. So anyway, that's my physical media, Blu-ray, DVD, 4K pickups for the last couple of weeks, 10 days or so. I bought some other stuff though, which I think may be of interest to you fine folk out there, in terms of graphic novel-y, booky sort of things. I've been collecting during the pandemic, as you can probably see. If I move my ass out of the way and move the camera down, you can see just there, somewhere there. You can see a selection of Marvel Essential volumes that I picked up at eBay. Essential Spider-Man 1 to 8, Captain America 1, Daredevil, just lots of the old, and they're in black and white as well. And I sort of find that quite nice. I know they were in colour printed originally, but these are the Essential Collection volumes which came out years ago, and I picked up a few of them here and there. And this week I picked up Captain America Volume 2. This includes Captain America issues 103 to 126, Classic Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Jim Steranko and co. Comic strips, which I remember reading back in the 70s. And of course Captain America is now a huge favourite again thanks to the MCU. So that's another one for the collection, which I will be hopefully reading at some point. I picked up this one, and I've actually started reading this because it's Neil Gaiman's interpretation of the Eternals, which came out in, I think from the introduction here, was it 2005? Of course these are the characters that they're coming to the MCU about Christmas time, and I don't know anything about them. I remember vaguely reading the title back in my Marvel days in the 70s, but I don't really remember anything about them. So I was quite surprised when I heard the Marvel doing a film. But the buzz is very good for this one, so I saw this one on eBay for a few quid. I know it's Neil Gaiman's version, so it's probably not going to be exactly Jack Kirby's vision, but it'll give me a bit of background into who the Eternals are, what they are, where they fit in. So I've read the first few pages and I'm quite enjoying it. As I said before, I'm not a massive fan of sort of modern comics because I do find the artwork a little bit abrasive. But I like the clean lines of the likes of Kirby and those classic 60s comic strip artists, Kirby and Steve Ditko and John Romita and so on. They did these, they made comics look realistic, and I just tend to feel that they're too stylized now in an attempt to make them more adult, and I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing. But anyway, that's the Eternals this is from the Eagle Moss collection, and I picked this one up off eBay. As indeed I picked up on this one. This is the X-Men The Dark Phoenix saga, the classic saga that's been sort of butchered twice on the films. So I thought I would take a look at the definitive version by Chris Claremont from the 1980s, 70s. Yeah, you have to excuse me, I'm not as fully boned up on comic law as perhaps I should be. But this is the classic from X-Men 129 to 137, the story of Jean Grey rising from the grave and becoming the all-powerful Dark Phoenix. Of course, we all saw the film Dark Phoenix, which was a bit ropey, and we remember The Last Stand, which was a bit ropey. But this is obviously the definitive version, and this will be on my reading radar at some point. Final one for this video, you'll be glad to hear. This is one for Doctor Who fans. Might make Doctor Who fans salivate, because this is an oldie, golden oldie. This is the Doctor Who Annual 1970. This is the quite rare, hard to find final Patrick Troughton annual. It was issued in 1969 for Christmas 1969. Of course, these classic Doctor Who annuals published by World Distributors were always dated for the year that they were released for, if you should have been a year ahead. Picked this one off eBay for a decent price. I've seen it go for more, so I was quite pleased to track this one down. It's in very good condition, as you can see. The spine is very good. You often see them on there with, the edges are bumped and the spine is battered, and pages loose and missing, but this one's in very good condition. It's not even price clipped, as you'll see at the bottom. It's got the original 12 and 6 price, and this is what I remember having at the time, but of course it disappeared years ago. That's the Doctor, and you've got these stories of the Doctor, Jamie and Zoe, the sort of for me the classic 1960s Doctor Who lineup, because that was sort of when I really got into the show. Mystery of the Mary Celeste. I've had a quick flick through some of the stories. They're quite fun. Of course, they weren't able to use monsters and so on from the series, so they had to create their own adventures and adversaries and things, and that they were quite fun. So that was my final pickup, which I came up a couple of weeks ago actually. So there we are. That's me up to date with my latest purchases. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thumbs up. You know what to do. Like, subscribe. That's it. Subscribe. Let me know what you've bought recently. If you've bought any new DVDs and Blu-rays. If you've picked up anything in the HMV Premium Collection sale. If you haven't, dash over there now and get something. Anything else that you've bought, anything you've watched, come on, join in, say hello, and we can have some fun. So until we meet next time, you know what they say, keep taking the stuff.